Hello, and welcome back to another episode of So Get This. After a week's hiatus, which I really could have used like a month's hiatus because I am so tired, as you can probably see in my face. I just came off the tail end of back-to-back conventions, Minneapolis last week and this past weekend, VanCon, and boy, are my arms tired. It's been insane, and this is going to be a short episode because it's just me. I don't have any wonderful guests for tonight, but I do have some guests lined up for the next couple of weeks that I'm really excited about. We'll get to that in a little bit. First off, I just wanted to give you guys a VanCon wrap up from the vendor's side. Because I was in Canada and I'm from the States, I couldn't afford data. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to Periscope or do any other fun things like that from the vendor's room. So hopefully when I do DallasCon in a couple of weeks, that'll be different and I'll be able to give you guys a really, really great up close and personal look from the vendor's room side of what it's like to do an event like that. So for VanCon, this is probably my third or fourth one, and this is the first time that they've actually used a convention center instead of using a hotel. And at first I was balking about it. I loved being able to, just go from my room downstairs, do my job, go back upstairs, pass out. And I didn't have that luxury at a convention center. However, what did wind up happening is a lot of really great stuff because it was in a convention center. I was forced to go outside and actually see the city that I was working in for the first time ever. I've never been outside of the hotel rooms or airports in most of the cities that I've worked in. So that was a treat. That was an absolute treat, getting out and about, looking at beautiful downtown Vancouver. We're right on the waterfront, and it was breathtaking. And I also, because I didn't have the luxury of just going right up to my hotel room from the convention center, I was socializing. I would have dinner with some of the other amazing vendors in the room, like Ginia Weaver, if y'all know her as Posh Geekery, who was also my roommate, by the way. We've roomed together several times, and she's just the sweetest person on the planet, the most considerate roommate you could ever hope for. And she's also a really great friend of mine, and I'm just so honored that she wants to spend time with me when we're together. So having dinner with her, or Megan, who runs Inspired Creations. She's the steampunk princess, she's amazing. She always dresses up as the Impala with the working headlights. And it's just funny messing around with people if we're standing right outside and she literally has a grill with working headlights, and I'm going like this because, that's where they are. And, people walking by and, will shout out things like, "My eyes are right here. What are you looking at?" It's really funny. Anyway, and then the lovely ladies of the Hunter's Den, whom I hope you've all gotten a chance to check out too. Their stuff is amazing. I mean, they sell goofer dust and holy water and everything. Ojeda, everyone does say it is a beautiful place, and I actually got to see that for the first time. It was really cool. Like I said, right on the waterfront. And what was really funny is one of my other roommates was telling me, my roommate by the name of Jody, hey, it's a cool name. She was telling me that because there was this great big glowing pile of something across, and we learned that was sulfur. So there might be some demon activity going across the river in downtown Vancouver. I know, I'm sorry, it was really awful. I couldn't help it. Couldn't resist. And I had another, I roomed with three women. The other woman was a lovely lady by the name of Colleen, whom if you attended the event, you most likely worked with her a little bit. She was one of the volunteers there at registration, and I think she did a bunch of other stuff too. She works hard. The volunteers in creation work hard. Just got to put that out there. So if y'all are thinking that volunteering for a creation event is a great way to get to your convention, it is. However, be prepared to work. I thought I had a tough job. My job ends when the vendors room closes, not the volunteers. They're on their feet until the wee hours of the morning because the convention goes on way beyond the vendors room, even though I'd like to think it just kind of stays in there. But no. So Friday night, the big thing about Friday night is the free karaoke party. I don't know if any of you have ever attended a convention. If you have, or even if you haven't, you want to, chat in the window here. Let's hear about it. I would love to hear everybody's experiences, especially at karaoke, because karaoke is the most friggin' random thing that creation does. You never know what the hell is going to happen. And, I was hanging out at karaoke, and then I went outside with a friend of mine for a few minutes, and so she could have her cigarette, and then we came back in, and there was this blonde chick on stage. I'm like, okay, she's pretty cool. Good voice, got it. And then minutes later, under the realization that, holy shit, that's Brianna Buckmaster on stage, and she wasn't on the guest list, but her being a local and all, she made her way over, and it was just amazing to see her on stage. So my trivia question, I'm going to put it out there a little early this time, because I am sure everybody answers my trivia questions by going on YouTube or going into Wikipedia, which is great. That's how I get my questions sometimes. So if you were not at VanCon, there is a way you can find this out. If someone can, at some point in this broadcast, the first person to tell me what song Brianna Buckmaster did on karaoke night, which was Friday night at VanCon, what song did she sing? You will get a $50 gift certificate to my shop. So that's the question out there. That is the trivia question. The first person to tell me what Brianna Buckmaster sang at karaoke on Friday night in VanCon will get $50 gift certificate. Woo! Okay, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my really, really horrible notes. So Friday nights are always really good because, Fridays in general, because you got a lot of really eager people, but Saturday it gets even more hectic and chaotic because more people are coming that weren't there on Friday night, and the excitement is building and building and building. And one thing that really, one of the many reasons why I love being a vendor is meeting all of you guys. And I can't tell you how many people came up to me and told me their Always Keep Fighting story, and came over showing me their Always Keep Fighting gear. How exciting it is to know that, and humbling it is to know that I reached someone in that way, in such an important way, and to know that it means that much to them, and it means just as much to me. So that's also a huge part of why I love doing these conventions, because I make these connections with people, they make these connections with me. Speaking of connections, one of the members of my Gishwas team, Brita, you rock. I'm sorry to stop, but Brita, Blaze of Glory. Yes, Brita. I was just getting into my story about you, Brita. Blaze of Glory is the song. I'm writing you down. Blaze of Glory is the song that Brianna Buckmaster sang on stage at karaoke night. And you were there, Brita. Did she not rock that shit or what? I didn't even know it was her. I felt like after she got off stage, I'm like, oh shit, that's Brianna. That was so crazy. Okay, so what I was about to talk about is, I'm so happy to see Brita's name there, because Brita had contacted me before the con through messaging saying, hey, I want to come hang out with you, during the con, if that's okay. Of course it's okay. And as a matter of fact, I had an extra guest pass because my other roommate plans had fallen through. So I had an extra guest pass, and I was more than happy to give it to Brita. She is an amazing human being. So to give that chance to Brita to experience the convention, I think this was her second convention, was phenomenal. It was great. It made me feel good. She loved it. We loved it. We laughed. We cried. It was a lot of fun. It was an awful lot of fun. Let's see. What do I have next? Oh yeah, so one of the other things, like I mentioned earlier, is being able to enjoy time with my fellow vendors, which I've really not been able to do much of until this convention center event. So it was really nice to spend time with Megan and the ladies of the Hunter's Den and Ginya, going out and talking about, what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and, exchanging ideas and exchanging, helpful hints and anything from like displays to, designs. I mean, Ginya gave me such an amazing idea for a piece, and I wound up making a baby-inspired piece called Baby's Badassery, which I'm really, really psyched about. I have not yet unpacked, so it's still in my suitcase. And it is not yet in my shop. My intention is to get it up into my shop by tomorrow afternoon. So look out for Baby's Badassery. And if you cosplay as Baby, I think it's an excellent piece to go with it. It's black and silver. It's studded. It's freaking cool. And apparently Jared and Jensen have approved, because the one lady that did buy one of them in VanCon came to me right after her photo op saying, "Oh my God, Jared and Jensen love this." And I told them they can't have it because it's all mine. And it was just so great to hear that. That happened a few times this weekend, which was really exciting for me to have people come over and say, "Yeah, Jensen said that he really liked my necklace," and I'm like, "Oh my God, I need that." Oh yeah. My other roommate Jody, she bought Gabriel, the Duplicity of Gabriel. It's one of the most unique pieces I have. It's a piece of white marble, and it's wrapped in copper, which I only use silver. It's the only piece I have that's made from copper. And she came over and she goes, "Yeah, Jared said, I love that. What stone is it?" And I didn't know what to tell him. So tell him it's marble. It's marble. Tell him the redhead made it. He'll know who I am. Hopefully. I mean, it's at a point now where he actually does remember me from photo op to photo op, which is really cool. So anyway, that's another amazing thing to happen, to have people come over and say, they're in their photo op, whoever they're having a photo ops with, commented on the jewelry, and like, oh yeah. Yeah, so after having, a lot of time spent with my fellow vendors and everything, it really gave me it just makes me feel amazing and warm and happy, because, it's another layer of friends that, I didn't have before this fandom. And can I tell you, all four of us, the Hunter's Den, Inspired Creations, Posh Geekery, and myself, we're all jewelry designers. We're all in the same room. We're not in competition with each other. When someone comes over to me and, they're saying, "Well, I'm looking for something cast inspired that has like a tie," and I send them to Ginya, because that's what she rocks. She has beautiful things like that. If someone's wanting something steampunky, I send them over to Megan. If they want some really kick-ass, holy water and goofer dust and other and hex bags. Oh, they have hex bags. Oh, they're so cool. I send them over to the Hunter's Den. We support each other, and we treat each other with respect, which is what this SPN family is all about. Oh, Jetta, thank you. She writes, "My pieces are so unique and just beautiful." Thank you. I really appreciate that. And it's another thing too, to see that had only known me from online, and then they come and see me at a show, and they see the work that I do, and they see that I'm actually making the pieces that they're wearing or that they'd like, and it means a lot to me, so that they can understand what goes in to making these pieces. Speaking of, I was in the middle. I had a couple of people just blow my mind this weekend. I was at my table, and I was talking to customers. Then all of a sudden, this blonde chick walks in with a baby and a very handsome man. Okay, who's this? Holy shit, Brianna! And I just wanted to come in and say hi real fast. I was dying. So I got to meet Brianna again. I got to meet her beautiful daughter Valentina and her husband Tony. I want to eat her daughter's cheeks. she has the most beautiful baby girl. I just want to squeeze her face. And that totally knocked me out. So Brianna was whisked off to an interview, I believe, with Fangasm with Lynn, who's another person that I got to spend a little bit of time with this time around, which was nice. I love speaking to Lynn. So while that was happening, Brianna's husband and baby were in the vendor's room, so I got to show her husband, you know, some of the pieces that were inspired by Brianna, like Brianna's realness and the initiation of Sheriff Donna, which was really cool. And he's, oh yeah, we have this at home, but Valentina keeps pulling on it, the initiation of Sheriff Donna. And then another surprise visit in the vendor's room. Again, I was talking with a customer and I sensed movement to my left. And I glance over and holy shit, it's Ruth Connell. She had come by to see me and she was just standing there waiting for me to finish my spiel with my customers. And I was blown away. So I invited her over to the table and she's looking through. I showed her the Rowena pieces that I had made. Rowena's Roar, which she had named actually, The Magic of Ruth, which is the Ruth inspired piece, and The Guile of Rowena, which was the first Rowena piece I had done. Right after it was revealed, well, I'm sorry, right before she revealed that, the writers rather revealed that Rowena was Crowley's mother when she was chained in the dungeon and she meowed at Crowley. That's it. I was sold. Oh, I love this woman. I love this woman. So it was really exciting to actually show her those pieces. And, you know, she started looking at some of the Crowley pieces, and I have a Crowley piece called Crowley's Humanity, which was, it was inspired by the sliver of humanity that Crowley had shown when he was being cured by Sam, as well as he began to soften up a bit. You know, and Rowena was trying to snap him out of it. Like, you know, you're working with the Winchesters. Are you out of your frigging mind? You know, he was softening up and he was becoming more, to me, in my interpretation, his humanity was starting to come out even more. So she's holding Crowley's humanity in her hand. She's humanity, nah. Like making comments on the pieces. It was so great. And it was a huge honor. And then she actually publicly thanked me at her panel on Sunday afternoon, and I wish I'd gotten to see it in person. I still have to YouTube it. But many people came over saying, oh my goodness, she just thanked you. She held up your necklace and said, thank you to Jody for my beautiful necklaces. And I melted. Oh, yeah. So it means a lot to me to have my work appreciated by these amazing human beings. Ojeda, yeah, she is a living doll. You know, what's really funny is because on TV she comes across as you know, tiny and petite, and she is tiny and petite. But when she and I were getting our picture together, you know, people were pointing out, she's as tall as you. She's almost as tall as you. I didn't see what shoes she's got on. But I suspect she had some heels going on there, because I was so stunned I couldn't look at her feet. You know, I was like, covered Connell next to me, bitches. But yeah, it was crazy to get a chance to actually meet her in person, and especially because I did get to interview her. I believe she was like the second or third interview I'd ever done, and her warmth and her beauty just exudes over a live stream. So can you imagine how overwhelming it is to actually be face to face with that? It was indescribable. Very, very, very touching. So getting back to friendships, you know, and making connections, making these new friends with vendors and fellow fans got me thinking more and more about the Kindness Catchphrase Contest. And also because of a specific thing one of my friends said to me over the weekend. I have a friend of mine who is a con attendee. She goes to many of the cons, and she confided in me that there are people that bully her at these conventions because of whatever fanfic she prefers to read, her opinions on, you know, the price of tea in China, basically. And it burned me. It absolutely burned me to hear that such a nice human being was being subjected to insults and bullying over opinions of a TV show and its fictional characters. With that, I really wanted to try to reach more people with the kindness catchphrase contest. So I'd like to extend that contest for one more week. I'm going to put my email address here in the window. It's eldwin@yahoo.com. eldwin@yahoo.com. Please email me in the subject line, kindness catchphrase contest, so that I can get your entries, and I will be accepting your entries up through Monday night of next week, which is, according to my handy calendar, this 7th of September. Oh my God, we're in September already. Yeah, so I would really like to extend the contest for at least one more week so that we can get some more entries. The entries that I have to date are freaking amazing. I want to try to reach out to a few more people. Hopefully some of the new connections that I've made at VanCon are watching, and they will have submissions too. And the winner of this contest will be announced on Tuesday, and the winner will receive the design that their kindness catchphrase has inspired. I'd really like to see some more entries, and don't be afraid to enter more than once. I read each and every single entry, and if you have 100 different suggestions, I'm going to read all 100 different suggestions. I can only pick one winner, but send every single suggestion that you have. There's nothing that, you're not being judged. So even though I am picking one winner, that does not mean that everybody else's were not good. It's just the one that resonates the most to me, that inspires something that I can show all of you. And also, I know I'm jumping all over the place. I wanted to get back to the concert that happens on Saturday night. It was my privilege to be able to watch Jensen Ackles sing on stage. It was euphoric. There's no other way to describe it. We're all at this concert, and I kind of sort of had a feeling he was going to show up. There was buzz all over the place that, hey, there's a rumor that Jensen's going to sing tonight. And I was exhausted. I'm like, I'm going to go to this concert, because if I miss that, I will really, really not be happy with myself. And I'm so glad I went, and I got to hang out side stage with Megan of Inspired Creations. She was selling Loud and Swain gear, and so I got to spend some time there with her. And also, as you all know, I work for Cliff. I sell cliffhanger gear too. So I got to spend some time with him. And as we were talking, Mr. Ackles gets on stage. It was beyond me. I was so amazed. And then for the encore, everyone came out and they sang A Little Help from My Friends. And if you have not heard the lovely Stephanie Dizon of Creation sing, you are missing out. Not only did she sing in the encore, but she did sing Hard to Handle by the Black Crowes during the concert. She has a voice that rivals Joplin. She is a powerhouse. She's this compact little girl with a voice that can break fucking bottles across the bar. She is amazing. So if you haven't seen her, you need to. She's also in a band called Samurai Fish, and they play in the LA area. So if you live in the LA area, or if you live not too reasonably far away from the LA area, I guarantee you will not be sorry if you go and see Samurai Fish. You can also follow them on Facebook. And it's Samurai Fish, exactly what I said. Samurai, Samurai, fish, as in fish. And they'll rock you, absolutely rock you. I don't see any questions coming in. If anybody has any questions about conventions in general or anything that I was just talking about, please feel free to put that in the chat window. And what I also would like to do is announce my next guest for next week. It is a lovely lady who goes by the name Chaos Lil Cat on Twitter. And she is the proprietor of the website SPNFamilyCentral.com that does an amazing support service for supernatural related art, artisans, and she does a lot of PR work for charities and for the actors. Not PR work, but like she does a lot of promoting. She's a very supportive person, and she has some exciting things to talk about next week. So Chaos Lil Cat will be my guest on So Get This for next week. I really hope you can tune in. I'm not seeing any more questions or anything come in, so I might wrap this up early, and everybody's saying, thank fuck. I know it's boring with just me. So again, I just want to do a really quick thank you. Thank you to Brita. Thank you to my roommates, Jinya and Jody and Colleen. Thank you to Megan of Inspired Creations for being the most lovely Vancouver tour guide for me too, from a gastronomical sense. She took me, she showed me some amazing places to eat and to hang out and just chill. It was great. And to the Hunter's Den, I love you ladies, you rock. And I also want to thank, of course, Brianna Buckmaster, Ruth Connell, Stephanie Dizon, Cliff Kosterman, and if I've forgotten names, I'm sure I have. Forgive me. Oh, Gil McKinney. I have to thank Gil McKinney. Very important, because I was standing with Megan while she was selling the Loud and Swing gear, and she asked me to hold up a poster that she was trying to get people to notice. And no one's noticing it. So Gil McKinney had come from backstage, walking past us, and I said, hey, Gil, do me a favor. Can you touch this poster? So he takes the poster. He rubs himself all over this poster. It was interesting to watch. So I took the poster and I said, Gil McKinney rubbed himself on this poster. Who wants it? And so we got to move that poster. He couldn't rub himself on all the posters, though, unfortunately. So just the one. And so anyway, that was just that's what a convention is like. You have the most random things happen that you wonder 5 minutes later, you look back like, did that really just happen? Yeah, it did. And it was as bad as you think it was. Oh my God, Adam, the special effects Adam. I got to spend a little bit with him, and I want to thank him. He made me laugh. He made me cry. He posts pictures of himself with kale shoved in his butt. I mean, what else could you want in a friend, right? Oh, Brita's asking me a question about, do I have any pieces yet about the SPN family itself, the family done in with blood? As a matter of fact, I do have a piece, and it is in my shop, and it is called Family Don't End with Blood. And it's a leather strap stamped with Family Don't End with Blood, and then has a chain attached to it, and it has 9 copper discs. Oh, this is the only other copper piece I have. And each of the copper discs has the name of a character, Sam, Dean, Cass, Bobby, Ellen, Joe, Garth, Rufus, and I know I'm forgetting one of the names, but it could be, you could add names to it, you could take names off, you can customize the names that are on it. So for example, Adina, y'all know Adina, I interviewed her not too long ago, just a few weeks ago, I believe, and she had me customize that bracelet for her. Exactly the same, Family Don't End with Blood, Sam and Dean, and then herself and her chosen family, Allie, and I'm sorry, I can't remember her other girls' names. But, I am very happy to customize pieces for you, especially Family Don't End with Blood. You choose who your family is. It's not dictated by bloodlines. It's dictated by who you want in that circle, who is the one that's there for you. Just because it's on a piece of paper or, genetics, that doesn't mean anything. Family is in here. And that's why I designed that piece. And there is also another piece, and Brita, you know this piece very well, and it is called We Are All Team Free Will. And it's a mirror that has a woven silver wire wrapping around it. And I designed that for us, for the fans, so that they see themselves in the piece. we are all team free will. It means we make our own choices. We control our thoughts and our hearts. You know, nothing is set out in carved in stone. We carve our own way, and that was the intention behind that piece. And you will find both of those pieces in my shop at eldwin.etsy.com. Thank you for asking that, Brita. I appreciate that. So with that being said, congratulations again to Brita for winning the $50 gift certificate for my shop. And contact me on email, and I will show you how that will work. eldwin@yahoo.com, and I'll tell you how that works. And I'm just looking at my horrible notes. And I think that's everything, guys. I want to thank you again for continuing to watch and support. And I will be interviewing Chaos Little Cat coming up on Tuesday night. And then the following weekend, 2 weekends from now, actually, I will be in Dallas, hopefully being able to Periscope. That is my dream, to be able to Periscope from the vendor's room. The one, a couple of, I think in VanCon, no. Yeah, I think in VanCon, the vendor's rooms typically are in areas that have very bad internet connections, so it makes periscoping difficult. And then being in Canada and not having my data in Canada, I was unable to periscope. I was not even able to tweet much at all unless I was in my hotel room, and it shows you how often I was in my room by how many tweets I sent out over the weekend. So with that being said, don't forget to watch next Tuesday, So Get This with Chaos Little Cat. And if you have any other questions, suggestions, comments, please do so in the after the description below. And always feel free to email me, eldwin@yahoo.com. And thank you all. Have a great night. I will see you next week. Bye.